My name is Abigail Mpambi. I'm the National Coordinator for the Civic Society and Churches Joint Forum. And of course, today I'm challenged, of course, to unpack issues around the church. And in particular, when we look at the precedents that we've been seeing here in Zimbabwe, the issue of the split of the church, factions in the church, some even going to the extent of claiming winning and losing in church battles. And I'm actually challenged by the constituency to unpack this whole issue, and in particular the big elephant in the house. We also have issues just of recent, the issue around the AFM in Zimbabwe, and of course I don't know if it has changed some shape here and there, but the whole issue is around the church. What is the church? I think the biggest issue here is to understand what is the church before we talk of the spirit of the church, the factions in the church. What is the church? In my own understanding, which I understand is also biblical and it should be correct in the Christian community, the church is the agenda behind the gathering of the people with the agenda of Christ. And it is a spiritual being, it is the spiritual agenda of Christ that is the church. And when we now go on to unpack that there is a split in the church, to an extent of having someone probably in the other corner celebrating the win of the church. What is the win that you'll be celebrating? And this is the issue, the big issue that the leadership has or particularly need to introspect. Even as you go on to argue, preparing your so-called heads of argument to these earthly courts, what is that which you want? Because if you are not very careful, you are found wanting in this very subject. You want to win the church. Which courts have the jurisdiction of giving you the spiritual being? Which court has the jurisdiction to give you or to declare you that you have won the body of Christ, which is the church? So, when we introspect this thing even closer, it's unfortunate that we found even some of our leaders exposed in this and in these battles because you attempted to even go further and introspect the interest. Okay, after winning the church, let's talk about the winning of the church. What did you do? What is the celebrations about? Is it about winning the spiritual, or it's about winning the buildings? It's about winning the cars. It's about rushing to the material things. Do you have the church? Let me actually even go back to the issues of saying it's not new to have the definition of the church not related to anything material. In Matthew, in the Bible, you realize that at some point there was a temple which was a resemblance of probably the church today in the physical narrative. And Jesus Christ himself witnessed the people inside that building selling, buying and selling to an extent that they were even money changers. Were those people a church? Definitely not. But they were in a building. And what does Jesus do? He threw away everyone. He was angered by such. Why? Because even the name of God was tempted to be put into disrepute. Because people would actually think that this building probably is the church. And with that misconception, people would actually undermine the works of God. They actually undermined the works of God by going inside that building and they begin to do buying and selling. But from afar, you would think that this is a church. Getting inside, there was no church. This is why even right now you can find people under a tree. And those people, the business If as long their business is about Jesus Christ, as long the agenda is about Christ, that is a church. And wherever they are, even on an open area, for as long as they are gathered in the right spirit of Jesus Christ, that's a church. Is this what you are winning? Is this what your battle is all about right now? So this is very, very crucial. It's very important, even to the followers. As you go around talking of these things, what is your battle about? What is your argument about? Is it about winning the church, the spirit? Or you want to win the buildings claiming to be the church? So we want to unpack these things, even as we get into the deeper issues of the gospel. People must understand there are things worth contesting. And where do you contest such battles? The church. Where do you contest? Do we have an earthly court that is the jurisdiction and the mandate, the capacity to give you the church? Now that the church is a spirit, can you really tell us in confidence that you have won the church? Or even you are battling. Can you tell us that you are in a battle because you want to win the church? Where have you taken a battle to? Because I want to believe the battlefield around the church should be somewhere in the spiritual realm.
So given what you've said, what do you suggest that the leadership be doing right now?
The leadership, actually, in my understanding, we should be seeing less of them here within our vicinity. Some were fasting, taking the battle to the owner of the church. These issues that they are doing is first exposing their interest hidden behind the issue around the church. Now that the church is a spiritual being, okay, there are people who won the battle. Let them tell us what fraction of Jesus if they won. This is the body of Christ we are talking about. And leaders must fear God. Leaders must fear God. I continue to refer them to Matthew. That is the church himself. Jesus is the church himself. If you offend him to that extent, he has capacity to turn the tables upside down. This is not a threat, it's a fact. And this is what is likely going to happen. We are seeing, let's see, if ever anyone is going to win the church, and those who think that they are about to win and those who think they've lost, show us the fraction of Jesus Christ that you won. Because